Directorate for Entrepreneurship and General Studies, National Open University of Nigeria, presents certificate course in Entrepreneurship Education.
Do you know that some of the major drivers of 21st century economy are the entrepreneurs? Are you one of them? I guess you are, or hoping to be one. That is why you are a participant in this certificate program on entrepreneurship education that is packaged by Directorate of Entrepreneurship and General Studies, National Open University of Nigeria. I am Amusa Jaimolo Adamlari. You are welcome to my class. In today's class, we shall examine the concept of value chain, its meaning and application to the growth and development of businesses. How can value chain analysis be useful for startup businesses? What are the primary and support activities in value chain? What do we mean by value chain integration and collaboration? The concept of disruption and innovation in value chain shall be examined, while the critical components of supply chain management will also be discussed. Without wasting any time, get your pen and other writing materials and move into the class proper. It shall be a fulfilling experience. Let's go there.
Hello, you are welcome back to the main class, where we shall be discussing further on the concept of value chain in businesses. And I remain yours, Amusa Jaimolo Adamlari. Now let's move on the slide basis. Now, at the end of this interaction, you will be able to describe value chain in businesses, highlight the benefits, state the activities of value chain, and of course, describe what we mean by primary and support activities in value chain. And also, you should be able to distinguish between costs and differentiation in value chain, describe integration and collaboration in value chain, and of course, explain value chain disruption and understanding value chain. It is very important to understand value chain because it is very critical to the development of your business. It plays a pivotal role in how businesses create, delivers, and capture value in market. So it is very important you understand this concept. Then what is value chain? There are several definitions given to the concept value chain. Value chain can be described as a series of activities that has been undertaken by organization, industry, company, agency, from initially purchasing of raw materials and then manufacturing a product to placing it on the market ready to be bought by consumers. So in that instance, value chain can be referred to everything a business goes through, from the beginning to bring a good or service from conception to delivery stage and maintaining customer, loyalty. So you can go through that description or definition. And value chain, again, set of activities that a firm operating in a specific industry performs in order to deliver valuable products or service to the end consumers. So it has been captured, in series of definition. You can, go through them. Some of them look repetitive, and some of them, explains in different concepts. Value chain, according to this one, is described as sequential series. It is series or sequential series of activities and processes that collectively create, deliver, and provide a product or service. Now, I always like to describe value chain using this illustration. Of course, value chain, according to Investopedia, has been described as a business model that describes the full range of activities needed to create a product or services. Full range of activities. Let's start with this garment factory. For example, it begins with cotton plantation. Of course, for months, years, you harvest the product, which is the cotton, taken to a factory where it is translated or converted into thread or wool. So subsequently, this wool or thread is also converted into different fabric of different color or of different thickness, of different shape. So such fabric, it is another stage, production of fabric is another stage on its own. From there, you also go further to go to the garment makers, where it is cut into different sizes for the production of skirts, the production of shirts, for the production of cardigan, and several other things that you can make do with them. At the end of the day, all the fabrics will now be packaged, for transportation into the market. Of course, another aspect of it is the transportation unit or the transportation component, where either to train, ship, and whatever means of transportation at the local level, at the national level, or at the international level, all these products are conveyed to the market before it gets to the end users, who are the consumers. The consumers will therefore, just get the product to satisfy their need. So this is a complete value chain. And at every point, at every stage, continuous manipulation or engagement or reformation, improvement, whatever you can do at every stage, it's open for improvement. So and that is why you must understand every process involved in the value chain. What is the essence of value chain? All the value chain processes will end up in creating a competitive advantage in the marketplace. The entrepreneur or the manager will be able to maximize the company's profits or the profit margin by evaluating all business activities. And this can be achieved when you understand clearly what value chain is all about. Of course, the end goal of value chain management is to create a competitive advantage. Now, what are the activities involved in value chain? Number one, you end up designing, a product, or you conceptualize it. Before you can go into production, you must get to the stage of conceptualization. And you see, some entrepreneurs, they don't really know what problem to solve. I tell people, if you look at your environment, there are problems that requires solution. There are problems that require solution. Hence, but if you are bereaved of ideas and you actually want to know what problem do you solve, I will advise you, understudy the 17 goals of sustainable development goals. And in those 17 goals, problems of humanity, problem of the society, has been highlighted. They have been enumerated. You can just move into any of the goals and get problem to solve. Then from there, you design the product, you conceptualize a service. From there, you go to production stage. At this stage, you also go through different levels, different stages to produce, the product or the service. After the production, you move to marketing. Of course, marketing will be discussed further in one of our classes. It is a whole topic on its own, because penetrating the market, particularly a market where, of course, you can't tell me you are the first person that will go into the production or bring such services into the fore. It has been done by some people, but as you are coming in, you must look for a way to penetrate the market. Then distribution of the product or services, of course, also provide after sales services. So these entire processes are what value chain is all about. Now, in value chain, we talk about the primary and support activities. Of course, there are different activities, so they are further divided into the support or primary activities. The primary activities are directly related to the creation and delivery of the product or services and are essential for achieving the company's main goal. However, support activities provide necessary support and infrastructures to enable the primary activities function as expected. Together, these activities form the value chain of an organization and play a vital role in creating value for customers. Now, talking about primary activities, we talk about the inbound logistics. This includes activities related to receiving, storing, and managing the input or raw materials needed for production. Then we go to operations. Operations are the core activities involved in transforming the raw materials into final product. Talking about outbound logistics. Outbound logistics deal with the distribution of the finished product to customers. It encompasses, activities like packaging, storage, and some other aspects that are involved. Marketing and sales, like we said earlier on, penetrating the market is a key assignment, a key task for any entrepreneur. So how do you penetrate the market that in some instances has been saturated? Okay, so talk about services, that is post-sales service, that will help you in holding on to your customer. In that instance, you talk about issues such as warranty, assuring customers of the quality. Now, support activities include procurement, technology development, human resources, and firm infrastructure. There is no business activities. There is no, any enterprise idea that do not require support activities. So it is important you create one. Value chain analysis for startup. And you see, for those who are old in the enterprise, they would have, understood the different stages. But for the startups, I mean those who are new or emerging businesses, they need to understudy what value chain analysis is all about. Of course, over time, naturally you understudy this, but because you have the opportunity of learning what value chain is all about, it is important that you, master and get and study what value chain stands to offer you. So I would say, understanding value chain analysis, it provides a comprehensive understanding of how a business operates and create values. By using this analysis, startups can make informed decisions that lead to improve competitiveness, efficiency, customer satisfaction, while managing efficient management resources and costs. Conducting value chain analysis. What does it require to conduct value chain analysis? Number one, you need to identify each part of the production process. You also need to note the steps that can be eliminated, and require improvement. By the time you understudy the processes, there are some that can be eliminated and there are some that can be reworked. So these are also part of value chain analysis. Another step is to determine where best value lies with customers and improve on the identified values, resulting in cost savings. If you understand this process clearly, you will see places where you can save costs. At the end of value chain analysis, customers enjoy high quality products at lower cost, which will lead to choose your products over other competitors. Practically, there are two approaches to value chain analysis through which you can analyze your businesses. Number one, cost advantage and differentiation. Now, there's one other thing that you need to understand in cost advantage, and that means where, at what point, in what area can you reduce the cost? You look at your work hours. You know, if in some other climes they pay their workers per hours, so you look at that. You look at your machineries and your setups. Where and at what point can it be reworked? Can it be reformed? Your wage rate need to be looking to material used to, for productions use, can also be reworked such that which materials can bring, can be secured at reduced cost and which can be eliminated for better efficiency. Your transportation too, you also need to look at that constantly in view of economic reality. And one other important areas that you need to look at is differentiation advantage. These tend to, create an advantage for you using relative marketing strategies to look at how do you make yourself different, out there in the market there. You need to create a class yourself, and that is differentiation advantage. Knowing about the product and the system. Those ones that are already available in the market, how do you, reduce yours, in penetrating into the market? Now, answering phone fasters, that could be additional service to your customers and meeting your customer expectation. Now, application of value chain to startups. Some of those things you need to know is how do you identify primary and support activities? So that, as we mentioned earlier on, assessing competitive advantage. Startup examine activities within the value chain to gain competitive advantage. Which one can you eliminate? Which one can you improve upon? Cost reduction efficiency. Value chain analysis will help you to identify areas where costs can be reduced, that has been mentioned, and where processes can be optimized. Innovation and value creation. These are also very, very essential. Customer value and satisfactions. Startup, businesses assesses how, to improve, on your customer relation such that you can get your customer loyalty. Now, value chain integration and collaboration. It is important that you understand what we mean by integration and collaboration. It refers to the practice of connecting and coordinating various activities within a value chain to enhance efficiency and reduce costs. Of course, it will improve overall performance. It also involves fostering collaboration and cooperation. In some instances, you need to collaborate and you need to integrate some ideas. In this instance, fostering collaboration and cooperation among people such as your suppliers, your manufacturers, your distributors, and other service providers. So they are very important in your value chain integration and collaboration. Like it has been mentioned, suppliers relationship, you need to understand that. Developing strong relationship with your suppliers to ensure a consistent and reliable supply of raw materials. Vertical integration. When a company integrates its supply chain by acquiring or controlling suppliers or distributors to gain more control over its operation. So just go through the other points under value chain integration and collaboration. Supply chain management in the value chain. So that is also very, very important. It focuses on the planning, design, execution, and monitoring, and control of all activities related to the flow of goods and services. So supply chain management is an essential part of the value chain because it ensures that materials, information, and financial resources move efficiently through the value chain, ultimately contributing to the creation and delivery, in real time to your customer, delivery of values to the. So go through other notes on that slide. Now, what do you mean by value chain disruption and innovation? Value chain disruption and innovation refers to the transformation and reconfiguration of the various activities and processes within the value chain to adapt or to take advantage of emerging technologies. When you are bringing in new ideas, definitely you are going to disrupt the existing because innovation is coming in. The market dynamics will sometimes compel you to do all this. Value chain disruptions occur when traditional methods and processes within a value chain are significantly and often irreversibly altered by external forces. So internal innovation. So that is what I mean by, so when you bring in new ideas to disrupt the existing one, so they come pari passu, to improve what you are doing. There are various forms of value chain disruptions. We can start from technological disruption, in the event of new technologies or breakthrough, and also market disruptions, changes in consumer behaviors, preferences, or market dynamics that can disturb value chain. So, of course, you don't close your eyes from challenges around you. So, in trying to migrate, it's going to bring in value chain distortions. So, it go pari passu with the innovations that you are bringing on. Now, value chain innovation. Of course, this one comes in, it refers to the deliberate innovation of new ideas, new methods, new technologies to enhance the efficiency and competitiveness and value creation within the value chain. So I've said it, the innovation will bring in what? Distortions. So you must be sensitive to market dynamics. Value chain innovations can lead to process innovation, technological innovation, business model innovation, and sustainability and ethical innovation, as you can see on the slide. Now, just look at this agricultural value chain, from the small products or the raw material from the farm to the final product. So there's what we call agricultural value chain. To those of us that are into agric, so we should try to understand that you may not need to sell your product raw. What other values can you add? Also, this is also another ginger value chain. So you can also create value chain depending on the on your product, your produce. Of course, this has to do with those in the livestock. Before you get your meat, where does it start from? So that is also very, very important. Now, I know those of you who are participants in this class, you belong to one or two of this category, from fashion designing, beverages and pharmaceutical, leather craft to those of you that deal in bags and shoes, information and communication technologies, entertainment, mining, education. So you must belong to one or two or other ones that have not been mentioned. So you need to create the value chain for your businesses. Highlight what do they stand for. What benefits do you stand to gain from understanding value chain? They are numerous. They are numerous. The value chain framework enables you to understand and analyze where cost efficiency is good or poor within the organization. It enhances backup decisions regarding various business activities. Creates a cost advantage over competitors. It helps in optimization of efficiency while lowering, expenses. So just as key performance index reporting, value chain will also be very, very essential. So far, we have examined the meaning of value chain, what benefit do you stand to gain, activities involved, which are primary and support activities in value chain. Is a value chain essential for startups? All these have been examined in the course of our conversation. Of course, the environment is getting dark. We need to end our lecture, and before I take this conclusion, a deep understanding of value chain is indispensable for businesses, old or startups, aspiring to thrive in today's dynamic and competitive landscape. By dissecting and optimizing each stage of the value chain processes, organization can not only enhance operational efficiency but also uncover opportunities for innovation and differentiation. Until we meet in other classes, don't mind, it is dark in my end there, but see you on another brighter day. Bye for